Hey guys, this is Nidhi, and today I'm gonna make my dough for chapati, roti, parantha, whatever you call it. It's a flat bread in India, and I'm just gonna turn on my scale. This is a parat or a flat vessel on which I knead my dough. Now I follow a very simple recipe for making dough, so I will take this whole wheat flour, which is from Indian store, but you get it well in Whole Foods as well as other stores, so wherever you find it. So I'm gonna make 15 servings. So again, I'm gonna take 450 grams of the dough, of the flour. Okay, almost there. 400. Yep, 450. That's it. And I usually make 10 or 15 servings for me and my family. So for 300 grams of whole wheat flour, I add 250 grams of water. Now you can follow this recipe, put it all in the KitchenAid and run the machine, and it will give you 550 grams of 10 servings of dough, right? And so I'll start adding water little by little, and keep kneading it so good gluten is formed. You would see that in a bread maker or in a KitchenAid stand mixer, it'll keep kneading for about 10 minutes. So we'll do the same by hand, although I find kneading by hand very satisfying and kind of relaxing. So I make my dough by hand instead of a stand mixer. I also love the fact that it's much more faster than if I do it in a stand mixer. So I prefer this. Just keep adding water little by little and bring it all together. Right? There is no science behind this. It's a simple dough making, simple enough for people who do it often. The only thing that I'm not doing here is I have taken 15 servings of wheat flour, but I have not measured my water. The reason I've not measured my water, I could do it. It'll be roughly around 445 grams of water that will go in this. But the reason I don't do it is because some flour takes some other different amounts of water depending on the outside temperature, depending on the flour, kind of wheat used, stuff like that. So I just make the dough and let it take the amount of water it needs to make it like a soft dough. If you're using a machine, obviously you want to add fixed amount of water. So as I said, 300 gram, add 250 grams of water, and that should make your dough pretty soft. If it's not soft enough, just add a little more. It'll give you 55 gram of dough ball for one serving, 30 gram serving of wheat flour. And the bread or the roti usually would weigh 50 gram because some of the water evaporates when you cook it. Here it is. I'm weighing the dough after I kneaded it. It's 847. I might add a little more water just to make it a lot smoother than it looks. So now it's 867. I let it rest in a plastic box in the fridge before I make the rotis, so just it gets the gluten that it needs. And all right, so now I'm if I divide 867 by 15, it's about 58 grams. So I'll break my balls in around that 57 to 59, 60 range. And I've made about 5 balls, and the rest of the dough I'll let it go back in the fridge if I don't need it. Let's get ready to roll the chapatis. So here I've taken some ghee, I've put it on my tawa, turned on the gas. So this is a flat tawa for making rotis, and here are my balls and some dry flour and my mat and rolling pin. Okay, take one ball, roll it into a circle, about less than an inch flat like this. Put it on the tawa. Once it's hot, just the ghee is melted, so this looks pretty much hot enough for us to put our roti. I'll let this ghee also melt and then put my roti. So this is how it looks once I have turned it over, flipped it over. It started puffing, and I'm making a parantha out of it. So I'll add little ghee. This is about 1 gram or less ghee. Once you melt the ghee, it's easier to spread and easier to weigh. So you can put your stuff on a scale and measure how much you're taking. This is pretty much measured, so you don't want unmelted ghee, because otherwise you'll take a lot and it will be difficult to quantify. Do the same thing on the other side. Add just a little bit, very little in the spoon, like 0.5 gram to 1 gram on the other side. Let it evenly spread. Make it look like this. Yeah, that's a perfect parantha. And I hope these tips help you. If you don't have enough calories for adding oil, I would suggest make a roti. So it's for making a roti. Once you have flipped on both sides, it'll look like this, and then you just put it on the gas directly and it will puff up like this. Oh, don't let it fall. This is a tongue that I'm using to just roast it a little bit, and it's done. No oil roti. So the rest of the dough, I'll keep it back in a plastic or a glass box in the fridge, and we can store it up to 5 days. Here is the calorific profile for my 1 chapati. Keep measuring by weight and quantify your nutrition. Enjoy!